Awesome. So good evening, everyone, and happy Friday. Welcome to the September segment of Mother Nurture. We're so happy to have you back, and we're happy to be back. Team Unstoppable, we've taken over for the entire summer, and we've been renewed through to the fall until the end of the year. It's our pleasure to join you here on the third Friday of every single month. And if it weren't for the late, great Dorothy Richardson, we would not be here. This is always a tribute to her. She was a spectacular woman who did phenomenal things. She was an avid churchgoer. She was very involved in her choir. She was very impactful throughout her community. And she was the mother to our dear friend, Troy Richardson. He's the man with the plan, the guy with all the energy, the gift of gab, and the brother who will always take a good bite to eat if you'll send it to him. So we're so grateful to have our great friend, Troy Richardson, who will be speaking in just a moment to tell you a little bit about our topic this month. This month, we are going to be touching on anxiety, depression, and mental wellness as it relates to a global pandemic. So Troy, we really appreciate you having on, sharing some of your insights so that we can get a little bit of an inside look of what depression is. You said you can tell us a little bit more about the different types of depression, and that you can also offer us a special point of view as a man who is also in the military. So please, Troy, take it away.
Well, thank you so much, Kiana. Excuse me. This is a subject that is near and dear to my heart, because I've lived with a family member that had depression, specifically bipolar, for 14 years. So I know how it is up close and personal, and it not only affects the person going through it, but the people around is the real impact, because they're the ones who are dealing with everything, the ramifications from the sickness and the actions that are taking. Some people could be violent, some people could be very vocal and just put holes in walls, and there's all types of actions that comes with that. But bipolar is only one type of depression. There's actually five. You have major, which is really catastrophic. You have persistent, which is time to time. You have what they call SAD, which is seasonal affective disorder. So, like, say, if you have a loved one that passed every year at the same time, you're gonna start to get in depression and get sad. Then you have the bipolar, and you have, excuse me, postpartum, which millions of women go through each year during and after pregnancy. Now, you mentioned the military. I am an Air Force veteran, and I sit on the board for a nonprofit that the sole mission is to help military women and families that are struggling with postpartum depression. And they do great work, very impactful organization. And I really learned so much more about postpartum depression and the things that pregnant women go through during and again after pregnancy. They deal with a lot. Women, my God, I mean, I salute all women out there, because I don't think most people really understand what the body goes through carrying a child, and after, the adjustments that women have to make. And again, my heart just goes out to so many women out there. I've heard so many stories. And back to the military again, a lot of military active duty and veterans, they're suffering from forms of depression, PTSD, because of what they've gone through. And there's a lot of opioids being prescribed out there, and it's making the situation worse. That's why I formed my LLC, excuse me, to address that specific concern, the suicide rate with veterans, which is 18 to 22 military veterans are taking their lives every day. Now, just think about that, right? If there were 18 NBA players, 18 Major League Baseball players, 18 doctors, 18 politicians, you just pick a category, and we would be in an uproar, right? We would like, what's going on? We have to stop this. But for some reason, it's okay that 18 to 22 men and women are taking their life every day. But it's not okay with me, and I know it's not okay with our partner, Lynette, who's on the call also. And we're trying to do something about that. And Juice Plus comes into play when I was introduced to this company and this product of whole food plant nutrition. um, I knew right away that I had to introduce this to my veteran community, and I did. Some of them, they just didn't want to touch it for whatever reasons, and some of them they trusted me at least to try it. And it's really been a godsend, not only for the veterans, but for a lot of people that I know. Um, I have actually the person that was going through the bipolar. I have given it to them. They haven't stayed on it, but at least they tried it. But plant nutrition, it plays such a role with depression. And there's all types of research out there that they've done, um, plant versus meat and processed foods. And the chances of getting depression when you're on a plant-based diet are significantly lower than if you are doing the regular meats and processed foods. So science-based shows that it is beneficial to introduce plant-based lifestyle and whole foods to anyone going through depression. So I'm going to stop right there. We could go on because this subject, and thank you, Kiana, for talking about this, because as we talked, a lot of people will not reach out. So the fact that we're going to have this platform to share with those that they might watch this in the comfort of their home, in their room, alone, and know that we are here for them and we're going to give them hope and that we care and we love them. And that's going to go a long way. So again, God bless you and your team and Ro and Elsie and the whole team for just taking this platform and really making it something special that I could be proud of. And again, as I tell you, I know my mom, she's smiling down from heaven every time we do this event, because I know if she was here, she'd give you guys virtual hugs all day. So again, I love you guys for what you're doing, and I'm gonna leave it up to you. And you guys have a great event. All right, take care.
Thank you so much, Troy, for kicking us off, and thank you very much for inviting us. We're always so privileged to be able to share these topics. It is a very sensitive topic, a sensitive subject, and not everyone knows how to speak about it. I was actually telling Elsie that oftentimes we're discouraged from sharing how we feel. There's times where they tell you to toughen up, to walk it off, to keep it to yourself. I actually heard that in our culture, sometimes when someone asks you how you're doing, it's simply just to ask you how you're doing. They just want to know that you're fine. It may seem burdensome for you to give an honest answer of how you feel. People are on the go. They may not always be prepared for you to unload on them. So it is nice that we're providing a safe space for people to get a little more just information on the best ways to approach some of these situations, or maybe just information and education that they can share with others. And Troy, you shared some staggering statistics about what people go through, especially our military, the ones that put their lives on the line and they put their lives on hold to go protect others and to make a better life for us here. But then there's times where they may not be receiving the support and the care that they need. So we really appreciate being able to talk about this to make sure that after this evening, there's more information so that people can properly care for themselves or care for others. I do apologize if I didn't say so. My name is Kiana Alexander. I think I may have skipped that. And this is a topic that's near and dear to my heart. There are many people that I know that, like Troy said, that they live with bipolar, they live with depression, people that have PTSD as well as postpartum, people that have been medicated and may have felt like it wasn't their best option, but they weren't aware of the alternatives. And we'll be happy to share with you this evening some alternatives that are out there. And just other people that just may have a lot of stress that they live with and they're not sure how to tackle it. And this past almost 2 years now, there have been a lot of stress that we've been feeling just as a human race all around the globe. From older people to younger people, especially this day and age, younger people have a lot more added pressures that we didn't necessarily have before. So this evening, we're really honored to introduce someone later on who's going to speak to us about the experiences that students go through, and then maybe we'll have a little bit of a better idea on how we can approach them. I also wanted to share with you just different things that I've been through. You mentioned parents. Parents go through so much, and I'm not a parent. And I say all the time that parents are superheroes, they're super people. I know that there are days where I struggle and I don't always feel at my best. I don't always have the energy to take on the day. The pressures and responsibilities can weigh down on me. So if you're someone who's a parent, it's amazing for you to be able to take care of someone else, to look after them, to love on them, to clothe and provide them, and to still have to take care of yourself. Similarly to what Troy was saying, I read recently in a graph chart that mothers are being affected the worst by the pandemic because of the several roles that they play and the hats that they wear, and just maybe not recognizing that some of their needs are going on the back end. And so something that we say is we want to make sure that you're at your best so that you can best care for others. And I know that's something that I took for granted a good bit of my life. I didn't always pay attention to the symptoms and the signs of my body. You kind of hear that you grow older, that life is hard, that you're going to ache, it's going to be tough. But I don't believe anyone really let me know that you can age gracefully. You can take control of your future now by focusing on your health. And we can also teach you how to balance your wealth in the meantime, while also uplifting others, encouraging them, and just making sure that you're a part of a community that allows you to grow without necessarily having to compromise your well-being. So getting back to some of the experiences that I've had, I didn't always rest well. I didn't have the most confidence. I, for some odd reason, have not had the best relationship with money. So that has caused a lot of stresses and strains for me personally and also within my relationships. I didn't manage my times or my tasks well. So when I was in college, I will admit I was admitted to an outpatient psychiatric facility for a few weeks. And I later ended up removing myself from college. I withdrew from my classes. I had a really tough time balancing and finding my way. And so I applaud everyone who goes on and is able to obtain their degrees, because the pressures are just out of this world, especially if you're there on a scholarship and you need to maintain a certain GPA. And again, a lot of the things that we'll be talking to you about this evening, it could help you with your focus, your clarity. We even have something that may help to improve your memory, can help with your sleep, all sorts of things. And similarly, also to what Troy was saying, I wasn't aware that the things I was putting into my body, namely the foods I was eating, that it was having a negative effect on me. I didn't realize that it was affecting my temperament, my mood, that I had a clouded mind. And it's just impossible to show up, be present, remain pleasant, and perform well. So I know a lot, the people that know me, I always joke and say I used to be a monster in the morning. Well, I'm grateful that I no longer am, because I was introduced to this fantastic, convenient, concentrated food. It's just produce that they take the powders, they put them in capsules, and they even have some of them in bars and shakes and all sorts of great things that we'll be sharing with you tonight. I know that I wanted to talk to you a little bit about different rituals, activities, routines, or maybe some things that may help improve your mood or the mood of someone else. And I know one of those things is what my life coach shared with me. Shout out to Joyous Ocean. I definitely appreciate you. It's called habit stacking. It's the idea of combining something you need to do with something you already do. So for instance, you brush your teeth every single day. You can do something as simple as doing calf stretches. If you're not really crazy about fitness and working out, you can do toe touches, you can do heel stretches, anything that you can do, little squats, leaning on the counter. That'll help to get your blood flowing. It'll help you to get focused. And we call them workout snacks. So that's just something simple that you can do every single day. If you find that perhaps you want to start out small and you're like, you know what, Key, things bog me down so much that I don't even know if I feel like getting out of bed today. The first thing you can do is begin leaving a bottle of water at your bedside. You'll notice that you begin to neglect some of your body's needs, that you're not nourishing properly, you're not hydrating. But if you leave the water beside you, you're more likely to get that water into you. It'll get your blood flowing, your mind going, and you'll feel better about that. In addition to that, you can begin with music. Music is a great way to elevate your mood and to boost your attitude. And it's something that you don't even have to lift a finger to enjoy. You'll realize that you'll be smiling in no time, or perhaps it'll allow you to bring a calm over your body. We know that there are a lot of pressures and anxieties associated with responsibilities. There's many people that have had to return to in-person work, that have returned to in-person schooling, and also you have to deal with bills and everyday just hustle and bustle of life. So like I said, in a few, we're going to invite some people on and they will tell us about what students are going through. And they'll also talk to us about ways that we can better listen to people, we can be more present, and we can just be mindful and aware of the needs of others. So I just wanted to, I'm sorry, pardon me a moment. I talked to you about the habit stacking. I know, I wanted to share with you areas of self-care. So a couple of areas of self-care, we talked about our physical need, our spiritual need, our mental need. And as far as the spiritual need, it definitely helps to meditate. It helps to pray for you to know that there's something bigger than just you. We know that there's more good in giving than there is in receiving. And so when we can focus on others, that helps us to feel better as well. I know that we also talked about, we talked about how illness can begin in your gut and how I didn't realize that when I was eating the wrong things, it had affected me. And so I spoke to Elsie about it. And Elsie was one of the people that told me that about 70% of your serotonin is in your gut. And I didn't realize that that's what affects your mood and your temperament, your happiness, your energy, and all that good stuff. And so Elsie has helped me a lot to tell me the different things that I can put into my body to help me out. And she also is going to share with us a form of therapy that we've gotten into that others have used. It's taken off around the world. It wasn't initially created for this, but then we found out that it is a great way to focus your mind, to feel creative, to be proud of what you're creating, and also to feed and fuel your family better. So Elsie, if you'll start with the very first item that will help us to offer simple solutions that you can begin to adopt now. She'll tell you about it and then she'll share a video.
All right, thank you so much, Kiana. Um, wow, you shared so much information there, and I'm so proud of you for even sharing some of your personal experiences. I know some of it is not always, some things are not always so easy to share, but we are most appreciative for you taking the time and, you know, letting us be more aware of things that people go through. So I want to talk a little bit about our Shred program. It really helped me, and it's been wonderful for so many people. And what I love about it is the simplicity of it. It's basically just making one simple change. And so it kind of takes away all that anxiety. You're not overwhelmed with feeling like you have to do a whole lot of things, a whole list of things. In our program, you don't have to go out and buy a whole bunch of special foods, which that makes it easy in and of itself, because those programs, you have to buy all those special foods for you, and then you still have to prepare the foods for your family. With our program, it's just very simplistic. You're adding in one simple change, whether it be walking, more exercise, some of the habits that Kiana mentioned, drinking more water. And we also have very simplistic guidelines and ways to help you get more fruits and vegetables in your diet. And as Troy mentioned, eating a healthy plant-based diet not only helps your body to be healthy, it also helps your mind to be healthy. So, and also, you know, what I love about it is less cooking, right? I used to be the mom that would, try to make breakfast for my family on the weekend, bacon and eggs and making potatoes. That's a lot of work. And then you have all that cleanup. Now we make delicious, healthy shakes. Everyone is satisfied. We have breakfast in less time. I don't have a whole bunch of grease and a lot of cleanup to do. So it's like a win-win for everyone. So also, I want to mention that shred package that we offer qualifies you for our Healthy Starts for Families program. So when you get healthy as an adult, you get the kids package for free, absolutely free. So that makes it so much easier to get the whole family on board, get the whole family healthy. Um, and it also, protects you with nutritional armor. So it's going to help to boost your immune system. It's going to help you to be more mentally focused. It's going to help your children learning at school because a more nutritious diet is going to help their minds to be healthy. And you know what? You're going to feel better about yourself. Even making one or two changes, you will feel so much better about yourself and your health. And I know for me, I had some serious gut issues. I had the classic symptoms of leaky gut. And, it just made me feel tired and bloated. And, when you don't feel your best, it's hard to be it's hard to be at your best mentally as well when you're tired and you're drained and you're exhausted. So now I want to go into another way that we can help people to get healthy, and that is through gardening. So I'm so excited about this topic because it's a product that I absolutely love. So I'm going to first share a quick little video, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about that. So bear with me a moment. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. All right, can you see my video here?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so let's see. I want to stop my screen share. All right. Okay, so wow, I shared this little video with Kiana, and it really had some amazing statistics in there. So the one that I found to be just really amazing is that gardening, really helps your mental health. Now, I do find this to be true because I so much enjoy my gardening, going out there to garden. Um, but 75% of people, they did a survey of 2,000 people, 75% said that gardens help to improve their mental health. That's simply amazing. And it's also improving your physical health as well. And then some of the other statistics in there, just to recap a little bit, said that 4 in 5 Americans have grown their own produce over the past year. And we attribute that to the pandemic, of course, because people want to have more control over their food. They want to know that in case something catastrophic happens, there is food to eat. So if you grow your own food, you know that you have food there. You don't have to rush to the grocery store to make a simple salad, or if you just need tomatoes, you need some herbs. You don't have a lot of people touching your food, sneezing on your food, coughing on your food. So people just want to have more control over their food. And then the other thing is, a lot of people just started it as a hobby. You know, that was me. I started with one tower garden. I now have 3 tower gardens. We just love gardening at my house. I've involved my grandkids with the gardening as well. They love harvesting. And, you know, guess what? They're eating things that they never ate before. You know, my grandson is now eating cherry tomatoes right off of the tower. You know, when we first started gardening, he said he didn't like tomatoes. He's eating carrots. We're not growing those on the tower, but he's definitely eating more vegetables, more fruits and vegetables. They love smoothies. They look forward to helping to make the smoothies. We harvest some of the greens and put it right in the smoothie. And they're getting that good nutrition. They're helping, and you know, it makes you feel good. And then some of the other statistics were 86% have eaten the fruits of their labor. So that is so true with kids too. When they help to garden, they help to grow something, they at least want to try it. Okay. And that means you're helping to shape their taste buds. They're incorporating more greens in their diet. They're you know, it's going to help their learning at school, and it shapes their palate for a future. So that's why I love doing it with my grandkids. I think I hit most of the statistics. Oh, I have one more. The one statistic said average Americans spend 45.25 per person on fruits and vegetables every month. If you're spending that at the grocery store, buying that, you're paying for a tower garden. So it really just makes sense to invest in growing your own. So I'm going to turn it back over to you, Kiana. I could talk, you know, endlessly on tower garden and about staying healthy. But I'm going to turn it back over to you. But I do want to mention that wonderful community that we have too. So it really helps you. It helps you really in many, many ways, not just our wonderful products, the gardening, but the wonderful community, the resources, and the support that you have as well. All right, back to you, Kiana. Thank you for letting me share.
Elsie, thank you so much for those statistics, and also for letting us know just about how much money people spend per person on their produce, especially if you're buying organic. And we also know that a lot of our food, it's shipped across the nation. A lot of our food is made in California, but they have like one of the highest known pollution rates, which is kind of scary when you think about it all together. So for you to offer us that option of growing green at home, and also coming from a household of 4, we would honestly be saving about $100 a month getting a tower garden versus what we're paying now. And I was really excited when you told me about the tower garden, Elsie, because you said that after a year of paying that we were going to have it paid off. And we know people that have had their towers for like 7 years. They say that, you know, it's food grade safe plastic, and it just lasts and lasts and lasts. Everything that Juice Plus offers is meant to be sustainable, convenient, and simple. So I definitely appreciate that. And the information about the mental health, how you said, you know, people's mental health, that it was improving once they were eating better. It goes back to what we were talking about with leaky gut. Some people also, you know, rely on antibiotics when they don't feel well. And I didn't know that your good bacteria is affected as well as the bad bacteria, and that it takes years for it to come back. Well, right now, over the past few years, we've been a lot more aware of how important it is to optimize our immune system. So it's really nice to know that the tower gardens are available as a soilless system that takes up only about 3 to 5 feet worth of space, that you can grow indoors and outdoors all year round, that it takes about 10% of the water, and it grows like 3 times as fast, and people continue to use their plants month after month after month. So it's really incredible that we have that option to feed our families, to fuel our lives, and to just make sure that we're taking care of everyone. The Shred 10 program is one of my absolute favorite programs. It is definitely a 4-month commitment to self-love. It is a way to prioritize what your body needs while also shredding some of those bad habits and getting rid of some of the things that aren't serving us well. That reminds me of one of my other favorite programs, which is the One Simple Change program. And that's how I got started. I look at the Shred 10 program as our elevated program, whereas the One Simple Change program is how we invite everyone to get started with us. It focuses on the 4 core areas of health. We're talking nutrition, hydration, fitness, and rest. Those are the areas that usually fall to the wayside, but we notice that if you focus on one of those areas, just one at a time, so that you don't feel overwhelmed, you'll begin to see consistent improvements over time. So we usually recommend that everyone gets started with more water because it's the simplest thing that you can do that has the most positive impact on your body right away. And then once you get better, you build on it. And like Elsie said, you never have to go through this alone. I know that the support from our system, it's unmatched. It's unmatched. There's support. It's global. We're in over 26 countries and several languages. And you can see we don't sleep. We have a ton of energy. We're not even running on coffee here. This is just joy, sunshine, and plants. So I can say that I've been through a lot of tough times, and there's always someone that calls me to check on me. Tammy called me just a week ago and she asked me how I was doing. Tammy will call and say, you know what, Kiana, I'm so happy that we're friends. I didn't get that anywhere else. I worked at a place where I would go in when it was still dark, and when I would clock out, it would be dark again. I do suffer with seasonal affective disorder, and so that lack of sunshine was really affecting me. And I remember a time where I needed to call out, and they laughed at me. I told them I needed a mental day, and they said, a mental what? I've never heard of that before. Well, this company doesn't do that. It's incredible because it is a mobile platform that you can operate wherever you are. You can pick it up and put it down as you need. And when I have tough days, I'm able to tend to myself. But on top of that, I'm able to plug in no matter where I am, virtually any day of the week, if I so choose, so that I can get inspiration from my family that truly cares about me and has my best interest in mind. Elsie also talked about the Healthy Starts for Families program, where you're able to get free nutrients for your littles. And that's incredible too. It's starting as young as 4 all the way up to an undergrad in college. So you're teaching them early how to take care of themselves. But better than that, as they get into the habit, because this is a family-based business that you can transfer on, they can help to take care of their friends and teach them how to love themselves and love on their parents. And on that note, we would like to invite Lynette Wright-House and her granddaughter to share with us her experiences with Juice Plus and also being a student.
Hello, good evening, everyone. So when we were talking about the kids and mental health, well, my grandkids were 2 of the kids that went back last spring. And this is Joy. I call her Vonnie, but her name is Joy Yvonne. And she absolutely did not want to go back in the classroom, but her parents decided they were going to send them back. So I just wanted her to share how she felt during that time.
It was good.
Oh, back loud.
It was really good. I had fun at school.
Would
and
you
I got to talk to my friends.
would you tell me about you and your sister and learning at home on virtual?
It was boring.
And she said it was, and she absolutely thought that she did not want to go in. And she told her parents she was not going to go in at all, and she was going to stay home. But then once she got there, she realized mentally they missed that collaborating and being with other children and being able just to see her teacher face to face. And this is the one that didn't care about going to school. And she's in 2nd grade this year, right? You in the 2nd grade? Yeah, she's in the 2nd grade this year. So she didn't care anything about going to school, but that time away from school and going back, she could really grasp the difference and longing for those types of relationships. So being at home, and then you have your introverts that they totally did not want to go in at all because they struggle being around a lot of people. But for them, and I was totally surprised, especially with this one. The other one, I know she was game. She loves people and she's more of an extrovert. And she is extrovert too, but was, I guess, more of a mommy's girl and wanted to stay home. But she really enjoyed going back. And this year, how about this year? Use your words.
Was good.
What else about good?
Really fun.
Really fun.
Because there was more people in my class.
And she said she learns better. She said she didn't learn anything when she was at home. So then we just wanted to share that. So we were talking about kids and their welfare and during this time with the pandemic and a lot of fears that some of the students had. And of course, we're going to hear more from Alanka, who is a co-worker of mine over at Flowers High School. I'm not in the classroom right now, but a lot of our steppers, I was one of the helpers with our step team. And last year, some of them feared going back in. The seniors were pretty much, we're done. You know, we don't have that senior life like we should have. And so they really didn't care at that point what happened. They were committed to graduating, but the rest of it, they were pretty disappointed with. And I remember going through a drive-through and this senior recognized me in the drive-through and he says, "I'm a senior." And I said, "Wow." He said, "Yeah, but this was different. This was a different year." I said, "Not what you had planned, right?" He said, "No, not at all." So we just want to share.
Thank you very much, Lynette and Joy, for sharing your personal experiences. Joy, we love to hear that you are having fun, that you're with your friends, that it made learning better for you, and that you've also progressed and you've succeeded better being live in person with your friends. And it goes to speak about the power of people and connections. And that's how we operate as well. But the thing is, we are given the privilege of being able to operate from the comfort of our homes, where we can do our best to care for our students that are going back to school, as Elsie said, by offering them a layer of nutritional armor that will help to optimize their immune system in the event that you do feel a little anxious about sending your students back. And to share with us this evening, also like Lynette said, we have Alanka Bab, who has a master's, soon to be PhD in counseling, and she will be sharing with us experiences of students from the point of view of an educator. So Alanka, if you'll please unmute and share with us.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to so listening to you speak and Lynette speak, there's so many things that are going wrong in my head, and I'm just like, okay, how do I summarize and put over what I want to be put over? First and foremost, I would like to say, from my perspective, let me give you a background. I am like Lynette said, I work at Flowers High School. So I'm in the fields, as they say. I'm in the Army right now. Kids really, really need some social, emotional learning. A lot of students now, and I can tell you because I interact with them coming in from the distance learning, they do not know how to, it's like they have to be reprogrammed, how to interact and operate and so forth. Prior to COVID, we have behavioral issues. And one thing that we've noticed is that since kids have returned to school is that has tremendously decreased. And it's a good thing, but then in some way it's like it's not a holistically great thing because of the fact that the kids just do not know how to operate now. It's like they have to completely be reprogrammed, how to interact with people, how to interact with their peers and so forth. I know, for example, our 9th grade students, they would not have had a full year of in-person instruction since their 6th grade year. I had a 10th grader in my office today, and she was sitting in the chair and she had her backpack on her legs and she was clutching it like it was the only thing that is needed for her survival. And I said, "Are you okay?" And she said, "No, I'm just like so nervous. I don't know how to, I don't have any friends. I don't know what it's going to be like. This is a big school. I don't know how to relate to people anymore." and we're having a lot of those issues right now. A lot of students are. I had another student in my office today, and she said, I felt like I was sitting in class and I felt like I was gonna faint because I didn't know, it was just sensory overload. So students that did not have these issues
Excuse me. I'm going to ask Alonso,
Mhm.
turn off your camera because sometimes the camera
Oh,
gets in the way of the service. So just turn your camera off.
okay, no problem. It's off. Yeah, it's off. Yeah. So it's like the prior to COVID, students knew how to interact, and now it's difficult for them. A lot of students that did not have sensory issues, we're noticing that they have those kind of issues in the classroom now. They can't be around the amount of students that they're around now. And my school is pretty big. We have 2,400 kids. So can you imagine going from middle school, having like being in your sixth grade, transitioning to distance learning, and then going from distance learning to high school without that getting that transitional phase that middle school provides. So we're having a lot of those issues. Another issue that I've noticed is that for a student was in the office the other day, and her schedule was being printed on the printer, and she came out and another staff member was out there, and she said, oh, my stuff is my schedule, I think you have my schedule in your hand. And the staff member said to her, I do not have your schedule. And she said, no, I think you have my schedule. And staff member said, I do not, like literally in this same tone, I do not have your schedule. And she walked away, and I noticed that she looked very melancholy. And I said, are you okay? She said no, and she completely broke down, like she was hyperventilating. I said, what's wrong? She said, I haven't had anybody that talked to me in such a long time. My mother used to do that to me, and it's hard for me to have an adult do the same thing for me. So I said that I give that example to let you guys know that these students really, really have a lot of issues that they are experiencing. Like we're talking about depression and so forth. They are experiencing all of these issues, depression, anxiety, and so forth. And the virtual learning really exacerbated those issues. So one of the things that we are doing, and we are trying to encourage the teachers at our school to also do, and the parents to also facilitate, is a lot of SEL learning. Try to, encourage time for reflection with your children, encourage time to reflection with your grandchildren and so forth. Talk to them, find out how they're doing. Oftentimes we as adults, sometimes we get so busy and so caught up with our time that it's difficult for us to connect with the kids. But we have to ensure that we find time to connect with them, ask them how was your day, how are you doing. Um, we're encouraging parents to take your kids out. It's difficult to do it now with the pandemic, but take them out for a little walk on the weekends and just really try to foster connection, because we think that they're okay because they're up in their room and they might be on their computers, and she's fine, he's fine, he's not complaining. And they're not. Oftentimes they're not. And kids do not talk, but they tend to talk to their friends. They rather talk to their friends than to the adults. So it's really important that we really try to connect with our kids and try to foster a relationship that they feel encouraged and compelled to talk to us should they be experiencing any issue. I know that the Juice Plus situation, I just wanted to say that I really support it, because it really helps with your mood and so forth. And it really foster what was said earlier, what you put in your body really affects your mood and so forth. And it's important that we ensure that our kids get that necessary nutrition so that they can properly function, because they do have issues. Contrary to what people believe, that kids do not have issues. Like, what issues? Remember back in the day, people used to say that. What issues do you have? You're just a child. You have no worries in the world. It is one of the most difficult things to be a teenager, a child in these times, especially because of things such as social media. So we really, really, as adults, have to be cognizant of that fact, and just really try to foster a high level of connection with our children.
Thank you so much for that, Alanka. You provided such invaluable information, insights that we probably weren't even aware of, things that we may not have taken into consideration. And you're right, children do suffer from a lot of different added stresses and pressures that we weren't necessarily aware of before, namely thinking about appearance, status, just how you feel about yourself, how others feel about you, and then having to worry about the pandemic. It is a lot. And something that someone introduced to us was the idea of taking a brain break. And that's what you said, to go take a walk, to get some fresh air, also to communicate with our children, to see how they're doing. Maybe not just saying like, well, what did you do today? You can say, well, what was the best part of your day? Or what was something that made you smile? Or what's something that you're proud of? Or is there anything you're interested in that maybe we can do together? We saw that Tammy mentioned that she always talks to her son and they do fun things. So we can all definitely recognize the importance of communicating. Thank you very much again, Dr. Alanka. We're very happy to have you on. So let's see, we talked about the importance of being self-aware and helping others to embrace their differences and seeing how unique they are and how it makes them special. We also talked about communicating, taking time away. Visualization is very helpful. When you're not feeling so well, you can actually think of things that bring you joy and make you smile, and you'll be surprised that it'll begin to help you smile. Box breathing. It's the idea of taking a breath in for 4 short counts and exhaling for 4 short counts. And you repeat it for 4 total times. And you'll realize that it'll even your breathing, and it'll help you to get oxygen into your brain, hopefully calm yourself down. And something that Elsie shared with me that I love is the pass a laugh. When you pass a laugh, you giggle and you start the laugh chain, and then it trends. And next thing you know, everyone is laughing until you're crying and your bellies are aching. And then you can sit and you can talk to each other a little more calmly. So we're so happy that you came to us this evening to learn about some different things that could help your family to optimize your immune system, and also to interrupt your anxiety with more gratitude and helping other people, and to have a listening ear. Instead of next time saying, "Are you okay?" Maybe you can say, "What can I do to ease your mind?" Or "What can I do to make you smile?" You can also keep in mind some of the things that we shared with you. We have the easy pack and go shakes that are plant-based protein. They're also vegan, they're gluten-free, they're low glycemic. So if you know anyone that's a diabetic, they're low in sugar, they only contain natural sugars. They're a great real meal replacement or a meal on the go. And they also help to level out your blood sugar for up to 3 hours, but they begin absorbing in your body in as little as 3 minutes. So if you're feeling a little stressed or pressed for time to get your student out the door or to get yourself to work, consider checking out these shakes and the different packages that we offer. Chocolate always makes people happy. So we do have these chocolate bars as well. And they also come in tart cherry and honey. Again, they're a nice alternative for eating clean on the go. It's the best kind of fast food that you can have. We mentioned to you this evening that as an adult, if you recognize that some of the things that we mentioned to you this evening that you'd like to go ahead and get started, and you'd like to get something for yourself, that you have the option of getting free nutrients for the littles in your life. And these are them here. They come in these convenient individual packs as well. So you can put a nice little love note on them and stick it in their backpack or in their lunchbox. And you can send your kids off feeling a little more safer, that although we can't keep them safe at every turn, we can do our best to care for them even when we're not with them. We mentioned to you the amazing programs that we have, but what we didn't mention to you is they are completely complementary. We care so much about everyone's well-being that our thoughtful companies said our resources needed to be made available to everyone. We're doing our best to reach as many people as possible. And the best ways to do that is to offer you affordable options and simple solutions that you can begin to adopt now that'll have you feeling better before you know it. And if they're not feeling better completely, guess what? There's different ways that we can show you tips and tricks to improve your mood, your attitude, your life. And also we'll join you, we'll lock arms with you, we'll embrace you with open, welcome, warm arms. We'd love to have you. We'd love to invite anyone that you know that could use a fresh start, because every day is a fresh start. And we're always just here to help, and we do our best to reach as many people as possible. You can speak positively to yourself and use affirmations. They have nice, simple signs that you can use to help encourage yourself or encourage others. And we just wanted to tell you that there isn't a single thing that we know out there that's scientifically proven to slow down the aging process, while it also improves your health in many different ways. So if you heard anything this evening that you think others could benefit from, please bring them back next month. We'll be meeting here the third Friday. It'll be October 15th at 7 p.m. It'll be live on Zoom, and we're also streaming live to Facebook. So we have this information for you to share, for you to replay, and to invite others. And I mentioned earlier that this information is so important that we have something going on virtually every night of the week. So tomorrow, if you happen to be in the White Plains area, please reach out to us so that you can get the flyer and information to come meet Elsie in person, to come meet our great friend Helena. She is a chronic disease specialist, and they will be doing a live in-person event, which we're really excited about, where you will get to see the Tower Gardens. You will get more information from our partners firsthand. But if you're not able to make it to White Plains, no worries at all. We have the Hicks sisters, who do incredible work with urban gardening all throughout the community and around the world. They meet every Saturday at 8 p.m. I'm going to drop that information here for you. Pardon me. So that way you'll be able to get on, you'll learn a little bit more about the Tower Gardens, about gardening therapy, growing green, and eating clean at home. And also a huge thank you to Lynette House, who joined us this evening with your granddaughter, Joy Bonnie. It was so great to hear from you both. And if you want to hear more from Lynette, her team and community is a powerhouse. They have simple workouts and routines. They tell you ways that you can take care of yourself and take care of others. And they meet the fourth Saturday of every single month. So that's going to be next weekend. And it will be at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. We have that information here for you as well. They meet on Zoom. And same thing, it's complimentary. Everything that we do is complimentary as far as the information that we provide, usually less than the length of a Netflix show. Troy did give us permission to go a little over tonight because it was such a sensitive and important topic. And we invite you to please join us. If you're not feeling so well, make sure that you reach out to someone and you let them know that you could use a little support and a little help. We'll be happy to have you. We invite you to take advantage of these complimentary resources and to ask questions. Please don't say no don't say no to what you don't know about. So until next time, we're so happy to help you, and we hope that you make time for yourself and your wellness now so that you don't have to invest in your illness later. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant rest of your weekend, and we will see you tomorrow evening for the Hicks sisters.
Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
It was such a wonderful talk.